Hi, I'm Marty Hayes. I'm the president of the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. We started the network back in 2008. And when we started it, I looked for some of the best people in the training and legal business to join me in that endeavor. And we've got 3 of those people with me today here at the booth at the NRA annual meeting. We have Mr. John Farnam, whom I have known for at least 30 years, if not longer. I took a class from him back in, I guess it was about 1980, 1991, I think. AD, yeah, AD. And so, in addition, John said, yeah, we'll jump on board and we'll help you out with. And Mr. Emmanual Kappelson. I took a class from him about that same time, and I consider him, and I still do, and with apologies to Mass and John, he is the best instructor I know. He is just pure excellence when it comes to pistol instruction. Unfortunately, he doesn't do a lot of it because he is busy with the legal expert work. He's also an attorney, and he hails out of Pennsylvania, thank you. And then we've got Mr. Massad Ayoob. I've known Mass longer than both of these 2 gentlemen since, I believe, 1989 or perhaps 1990. And Mass and I worked together since then doing some type of teaching, first for his Lethal Force Institute and then later for the Massad Ayoob group. What I want to do with this video is basically just give these gentlemen an opportunity to tell you why they believe in the network. And we might as well just start out with John.
The best thing about ACLDN is the educational material that one receives when he becomes a member. One reason the organization has been so successful is that our members don't get involved in shootings. They don't get involved in shootings because they adhere to the instructional material that Marty so eloquently provides when you become a member. What Marty had to say is largely what we all have to say to our students. The key is avoidance, and the key is to be careful what you say, be careful about the things you publish. Basically, we have to be good people. Not perfect, God knows, but we have to be good people and be seen that way by the system should we ever get involved in something. In any event, Marty has done a wonderful job on this. I am delighted and honored and proud to be here with my colleagues, recommending to all of us to join this group and receive this material.
Manny, I think you're up on the hot seat.
I've known Marty Hayes and Marty's wife, Gila Mae Hayes, for many years, and I was honored when they asked me to be on the advisory board some years ago, but I declined the offer because by my own standards, the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network didn't have enough of a track record at that point. About 5 years later, I changed my mind and I agreed to be on the advisory board. I'm glad I did. The network at this point has stood the test of time. It's done a wonderful job for its members in educating them, as John pointed out, and on rare occasion in helping them to find legal defense when they needed it, or to afford that legal defense when they needed it. I've had a number of people sent to me by the network. As John pointed out, I live in Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania, but I've had people call me who become network members and who live in Pennsylvania or in nearby New Jersey or in nearby parts of New York State because they decided they wanted to meet with me in advance of having any possible problem ever with their use of guns or their defending of themselves and their loved ones. And that's been a great opportunity to meet people and to continue on with the education that the network provides in terms of written materials and video training tapes and so forth. I think that lets lawyers and others in all parts of the country who have network members approach them, speak personally with network members, find out how they use their guns, why they own and carry or keep guns for self-defense, to give them some instruction and some guidance that's tailored to the laws of their particular states, and that's been good for them and good for me, and I'm sure that network members in other parts of the country avail themselves of those same kinds of opportunities with the network recommended attorneys in other parts of the country. So I think it's a great organization. It does great work for its members and great work for society as a whole.
Manny was instrumental in getting one of our members' charges dropped from a felony assault down to nothing. Was that Massachusetts? Yeah, that was Boston, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And it was simply on a charge of pepper spray. He pepper sprayed a guy, and I guess in Boston that was considered assault with a dangerous weapon, and he had felony charges for a perfectly legitimate act of self-defense. So thank you for that, Manny, and hopefully we won't have to do too many more of those.
Yes. My wife particularly liked that case because in order to prove to the prosecutor that pepper spray was not a dangerous weapon, I had my wife drench me with a whole can of that same brand of pepper spray while a video was made, and I stood there and talked for several minutes afterwards to show that while pepper spray is certainly not a pleasant experience and hopefully is a temporarily disabling one, it's not a dangerous weapon. So my wife enjoyed working on that case too.
Okay, that brings us to Massad Ayoob. Mass, we've known each other for 30 plus years, and again I want to thank you for helping me get this going, the jump start, so to speak. Could you tell the audience how your involvement came about and how you continue to be instrumental in the network?
Sure, I'd known Marty for probably 18 years when he began ACLDN. I had been an expert witness for the courts in cases like this since 1979. And I had seen, as Marty did in his many years as an expert witness, so many wrongful accusations, unmeritorious criminal charges, unmeritorious lawsuits, that even when you won them, often bankrupted the individual. If you're ever criminally charged, the name of the case is going to be State versus you. Consider the magnitude of that, the crushing economic power of an entire state against you and whatever estate you've built for your family. The ACLDN has literally spawned an industry. It was the first of the post-self-defense support groups. As one of the education consultants and expert witness consultants for the organization, I've seen dozens of cases, and every single ACLDN case has been resolved as best the facts would have allowed. 2 months ago, I did a self-defense shooting case for a fellow who was not a member. He was charged with murder in the first degree for protecting himself and his family from a deadly threat. For more than 2 years, he was under that sword of Damocles criminal